On August 12th, 1985 in Tokyo Japan Airlines, Flight 123 takes off, bound for Osaka. But within minutes, a routine flight becomes a terrifying struggle for survival. The flight crashes violently into Mount Takamagahara. What caused the deadliest single aircraft disaster in history? Let's find out in this story. Haneda Airport buzzes as passengers board Japan Airlines Flight 123, a scene of farewells and hurried steps. The Boeing 747 was completely booked. It was the evening of the Japanese holiday bon, and many people were going home to see relatives or going on vacation. Inside the Boeing 747, a symphony of subtle sounds fills the air as passengers prepare for takeoff. Flight attendants move gracefully through the aisle, their practiced smiles masking the serious nature of their safety demonstrations. Inside the cockpit, Captain Masami Takahama and First Officer Yutaka Sasaki prepare for takeoff. The first officer monitors the controls closely. They calmly run through the pre-flight checklist. The cockpit fills with a calm, professional atmosphere as they finalize preparations. Japan Airlines Flight 123 soars into the sky above Haneda Airport, ascending smoothly. The cityscape of Tokyo recedes, a sprawling panorama under the aircraft. In the air, the flight hums with quiet industry, passengers lost in pages or dreams. The gentle drone of the engines forms a soothing backdrop to the hushed whispers of travelers. The plane had left Tokyo airspace and had ascended to 24,000 feet. A violent explosion tears through the plane, throwing Captain Takahama and First Officer Sasaki into chaos. Red warning lights flash, bathing the cockpit in a hellish glow as the pilots struggle to regain control. Inside Japan Airlines Flight 123, a sudden decompression unleashes chaos as oxygen masks fall, transforming the cabin into a scene of horror. Passengers scream in terror, their faces reflecting the raw dread of impending doom. The aircraft lurches violently, tossing passengers against each other, their bodies colliding amid the pandemonium. Amidst violent turbulence, Captain Takahama struggles to maintain control, his determination etched against the chaos. His face glistens with sweat as he battles the aircraft's erratic movements. With unwavering resolve, he speaks urgently into the radio. Tokyo, this is Japan Airlines Flight 123. We have a situation. Request immediate return to Haneda. In the bustling air traffic control center of Tokyo, controllers race against time, urgency etched on every face. Amidst the chaos, they coordinate a desperate effort to aid Japan Airlines Flight 123, striving to carve a safe path through the crowded skies. Inside Japan Airlines Flight 123, cabin lights flicker erratically, casting shadows across anxious faces. Inside the cockpit, Captain Takahama struggles, his every muscle straining against the relentless forces threatening to rip the plane apart. The damaged hydraulics scream under the strain, a symphony of impending doom as the plane teeters on the edge of disaster. Inside Japan Airlines Flight 123, the plane flies erratically, descending rapidly. Passengers, faces etched with despair, pen final words on air sickness bags. Inside the cockpit, the pilots grapple with the controls. Despite all their efforts, the plane remains unstable. They speak with air traffic control, relaying the dire situation. Inside the air traffic control, faces glow under the harsh radar screens as controllers fight to guide Japan Airlines Flight 123 to safety. Each moment amplifies the tension as the plane's condition worsens. Inside Japan Airlines Flight 123, the aircraft becomes a vessel of terror as it narrowly evades the grasp of towering mountains. Passengers clutch rosaries, their desperate prayers rising above the screams as the ground rushes toward them. In the cockpit, Captain Takahama delivers his last announcement, his words a somber farewell to the passengers. He and First Officer Sasaki brace themselves, the impending crash looming over them. Japan Airlines Flight 123 crashes violently into Mount Takamagahara. The impact is catastrophic, tearing the plane into pieces. Debris rains down the mountainside, engulfed in flames. The crash site sits in a remote, treacherous location, hindering rescue efforts. After a grueling 14 hours, rescue crews arrive at the desolate crash site. Amidst the devastation, only 4 survivors are found. The scene is filled with wreckage. A young woman, a survivor, sits on the edge of the bed, wrapped tightly in a blanket. She recounts her story, her voice trembling as she speaks to the two investigators. The faces of the investigators are etched with concern as they listen intently. In the solemn NTSB hearing room, aviation experts gather around a long table, their faces reflecting the weight of the disaster. They testify somberly, their words painting a stark picture of the events that culminated in the crash. Inside the aviation safety office, officials gather around a large conference table, sunlight casting a stark light on their grave faces. Each document reviewed is a solemn reminder of the Japan Airlines Flight 123 crash. The weight of lives hangs heavy as they meticulously ensure improvements in aircraft maintenance and emergency response. Inside Boeing headquarters, executives are sitting around a large conference table. They discuss ethical conduct and accountability. Investigators recovered a large portion of the tail section of the Boeing 747, including parts of the rear pressure bulkhead and tail fin. They found clear signs of metal fatigue and fracture patterns consistent with explosive decompression. Investigators meticulously reviewed all previous maintenance records, each document serving as a solemn reminder of the Japan Airlines Flight 123 tragedy. Inside the NTSB hearing room, an investigator stands before the board, poised to reveal the truth. The room is filled with somber faces, each reflecting a personal connection to the tragedy. The investigator gestures towards the cross-section of the aircraft's tail, exposing the inadequate repair. The investigation reveals a chilling cause, a faulty repair done 7 years earlier. After a tail strike in 1978, Boeing engineers had repaired the rear pressure bulkhead improperly. This seemingly minor mistake, just one row of rivets, would prove catastrophic after repeated pressurization. Even minor deviations in aircraft repair procedures can build up over time and cause disasters. Following the NTSB report, Boeing and other manufacturers implemented more stringent repair documentation requirements and enhanced quality audits. Airlines were required to follow manufacturer repair guidelines exactly, with oversight from aviation authorities. Non-destructive testing, NDT, was increasingly adopted to detect hidden cracks. Years after the tragedy, families gather at the memorial site, their faces etched with grief. The air hangs heavy with unspoken memories of loved ones lost near Mount Takamagahara. A somber reflection on the past fills the memorial site, where each stone tells a story of sorrow. With every air crash, we learn new lessons and develop improved aviation safety regulations. Unfortunately, these changes often come at the cost of lives.